DETV News is sponsored by Newcastle County Government.
Good evening and welcome to DETV News, your trusted news source. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lauren Wilson. Matt Ford has the night off. As the year begins to wind down, we're taking a look back at a few of the top stories of the year. We here at DETV have been so proud to bring Delaware's only televised newscast back to the first state, something that has been missing for more than a decade. We begin tonight by remembering the day when the ultimate sacrifice was made by 3 brave Wilmington firefighters in the Canby Park section of Wilmington.
It was just around 3 a.m. on a Saturday when 3 Wilmington firefighters ran into a burning house on Lakeview Road, believing people were trapped inside. The floor beneath them gave way and they plummeted into the burning basement. More firefighters rushed to their aid. One of the firefighters who fell into the basement and a second firefighter who ran into the blaze became trapped and died at the scene. 2 more were severely burned, one dying of her injuries months later in the hospital. 3 others were injured. The Wilmington police chaplain called it, quote, "our own very personal 9/11. More than 100 people gathered last week for the dedication of a memorial in honor of Captain Christopher Leach, Lieutenant Artie Hope, and Lieutenant Jerry Fix.
To be here today, to see the memorial, it's a great reflection and a great way of remembering Chris, Artie, and Jerry.
The house on Lakeview Road was donated to the Wilmington Fire's Benevolent Fund, and the space has been lined with brick pavers and 3 stone benches bearing their names. Family members of all spoke during a ceremony in Canby Park, followed by a slow, long procession past the now dedicated memorial.
That he was always learning, and he would want what happened here 5 years ago to be a learning opportunity. He would also want you to remember the good, full of life moments that he shared with you rather than what happened here.
Everyone in the fire department we would like to thank for making this possible and this dedication ceremony. It means so much to us. My sisters and I over the past few years have felt the love and support from each and every single one of you. It's truly a family, and you guys definitely look out for your own.
And to say Chris was passionate about firefighting is probably an understatement. He lived to go to work, to fight fire, to serve his community, and to mentor new recruits. In fact, when Chris was pursuing his bachelor's degree, he wrote in a paper, "I was born to be a firefighter."
Matt Ford, DETV News.
Earlier this year, my co-anchor Matt Ford spoke with State Senator Sarah McBride on a variety of issues facing not only our state, but also our country.
Welcome to a DETV News special where we're joined by special guest Senator Sarah McBride, the highest-ranking transgender elected official in U.S. history. Sarah, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me.
We appreciate you being here. Simple question for you, why politics?
I've been involved in Delaware politics since I was about 13 years old. And I think, one, I got involved in politics in part through my own journey to authenticity. As I figured out who I am, as I figured out that I was trans, I looked around the world and saw that perhaps at that point the heart of my country wasn't big enough to love someone like me. And politics seemed like the place where I could try to build a world where more people could live fully and freely. And I think more broadly, it seemed like the place where you could make the most amount of change for the most number of people in the most number of ways possible. And so I got involved in part because I knew what it felt like to be on the outside. I knew what it felt like to fear that my dreams and my identity were mutually exclusive. And I wanted to help build a world where everyone could live openly, where everyone can have the same opportunity and be treated with respect in their own communities.
So you had this in you at an early age.
I did. It was, I think, rooted very much in my own desire to help build a world where even if I could not come out, where other people could live openly.
What do you see as critical in terms of what needs to change in Delaware, both inside and outside of politics?
Well, I think that Delaware is a really special place. And one of the reasons why I am so proud to serve the 1st Senate District is because I love this state. I feel like in my own life, I've seen Delaware at its best. I've seen Delaware live up to those values of kindness and respect and care for one another. But I think we have to do that for communities that too often have been left behind. I think we have to do it for young working families. We have to do a better job for communities of color. We have to do a better job for people who are living in rural communities. We've got to do a better job for retirees. We've got to do a better job for our young people. And so I think my hope is that the future of Delaware politics, that the future of our state, is defined by the adoption of policies that help people when they face hard times. You know, elected officials can't eliminate all pain, we can't stop all loss, but what we can do is we can make life a little bit easier when someone faces a challenge. And I think that's the only way we're going to, one, live up to our values as a state of neighbors, but two, that we'll be able to build that economy of the future that has the workforce in Delaware to keep and grow jobs in our state. And so my hope for the future of this state is a politics that really recognizes that our policies have to reflect that neighborly duty to care.
Considering we are the first state, why do you feel that it is that we are trailing a bit in supporting small businesses?
Well, I think first off, I'll say that the first state isn't an identity of the past. It is not a moniker that celebrates a long bygone era. It has to be a call to action. It has to be a responsibility that each of us feel every single day to be figuring out what we can do better to support one another, what we can be doing better to support people who are facing injustice or poverty or crime, small businesses that are struggling. And I think that, one, we've seen important investments in small businesses over the last year and a half. But there are too many areas where Delaware isn't living up to its values as a state of neighbors, and to that moniker of being the first state. And I certainly think there's more that we can do. I don't think anyone in Delaware politics or in Delaware government wouldn't say there's not more that we can do. And so I think that certainly when it comes to supporting and empowering small business, but also when it comes to supporting and empowering workers, I think those go hand in hand. And I think policies that really are a win-win for both workers and small businesses are policies that we should be pursuing. I think one policy that is at the heart of that is paid family and medical leave. The reason why I think that it's at the heart is because right now, increasingly, paid family and medical leave is an in-demand benefit for workers and working families. And you are seeing more and more states adopting these policies, and you're seeing more and more large corporations adopting these policies, which ultimately puts Delaware at a competitive disadvantage with other states in attracting talent here, but also it puts small businesses at a competitive disadvantage with larger employers because they, on their own, cannot afford to provide that benefit on their own dime, which means that when a worker is deciding where they want to locate, live, and work, they might choose the larger employer that's providing those comprehensive benefits over the smaller employer that just struggles. They want to do the right thing, but struggles to provide those benefits on their own. So that's one of the reasons why I introduced Senate Bill 1, the Healthy Delaware Families Act, which provides the most economical, sustainable, and affordable way of delivering that benefit to families here in Delaware at little or no cost to small businesses, in a way that helps to level the competition for talent between small and larger employers and help our state to win that competition for talent against the states that are increasingly providing this benefit themselves.
Sarah, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. We hope you'll come back and see us.
For sure.
Thank you.
At any time.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
To see the complete interview, make sure to visit DETV's YouTube page for more. Still to come tonight, our health correspondent Donnie Bourgeois-Smith has a story on one healthcare system in Delaware that has become one of the first to offer a hospital-at-home program. Plus, Nick Alessandrini will be sharing some of the best sports moments of 2021, so stay with us. DETV News will return after these messages.
As soon as I got here, I just felt the warm embrace of the community, man. Like, what y'all got going on is wonderful. And no wonder y'all called the work group, because y'all putting that work in. For real, seriously, y'all getting the work done.
We are committed to creating the best Riverside we can with the community, for the community.
This message is brought to you by Newcastle County Government.
Hi, I'm Dr. Neil Hockstein at ENT and Allergy of Delaware. We've been very fortunate to be protected from COVID-19 with the vaccines, but now we're hearing a lot about booster shots. If you're over 65 or have some immune compromise, booster shots are an effective way to strengthen your immune system again. It's the same vaccine that you received with your first or second dose, and it can extend and strengthen the protection that you've already received. Keep yourself and your friends and family safe. Thank you.
Welcome back to DETV News Year in Review. While we're looking back on a few of our top stories of the year, we can't forget about some of the top moments in sports. Our sports correspondent Nick Alessandrini has Delaware's best sports moments in 2021.
Thanks, Lauren. It has been a very exciting year here for not only all of us at DETV, but also for sports here in the First State. Football saw a new realignment, and for the first time in state history, we had 3 different champions in 3 different classes. Some teams were crowned champions for the first time in school history. This past year has seen some monumental moments, and we will give you the top 5 from 2021. At number 5, it's the Laurel Bulldogs. The Laurel Bulldogs football program had not won a state championship since 1991. No player on the current roster was even born in 1991. Laurel finished the regular season this year at 8-2, with their only losses coming to Delmar in the regular season finale and Class 2A finalist Woodbridge. Laurel was ranked number 1 for most of the season in Class 1A and finished as the number 1 seed and champion. Javier White ran for 116 yards and 2 touchdowns, and his backfield mate Kyles Wilson ran for 56 yards and 2 touchdowns. And don't forget, Jaden Snyder had 12 tackles in that championship game against St. Elizabeth's. The Laurel Bulldogs take home their first state championship since 1991, and they are in at number 5 of our best sports moments of 2021. At number 4, we head back to the spring, where we had an electrifying softball state championship. It featured number 3 Caravel and number 1 Sussex Central in a game that would end with a score of 1-0. Both pitchers were phenomenal in the game, as Sussex Central freshman Madge Layfield struck out 24 hitters and allowed just 6 hits through 11 innings. Caravel senior Jessica Walter struck out 12 and only allowed 7 hits in her shutout performance. In the bottom of the 9th, with a runner on third and only 1 out, Sussex Central's Kaylee Verasco hit a liner to center that looked like the game winner, but Caravel center fielder Kendall Brown comes charging in and makes the diving catch and doubles up the runner at third to end the inning. The Bucks would get the bats going in the top of the 11th, with Veronica Diamidi leading off with a double. Then with 1 out, Brooke Holdsworth would hit a single up the middle, and that would score Diamidi to give the Bucks the lead. The defense would do the rest, shutting out Sussex Central in the 11th inning when they had runners on second and third with no outs. The Caravel Bucks were your 2021 softball state champions, and in exciting fashion. At number 3, we have maybe the best football game of the year. In the new realignment, we had powerhouses SMYRNA and Middletown as number 1 and 2 all season long, and it was only fitting that they meet for the first ever DIAA Class 3A championship. The two teams met early in the regular season, with Middletown using that defense to get a 28-14 win in the Harvest Bowl, and the championship game was even better. These two teams would go back and forth all day long at Delaware Stadium, but it was Middletown who would score last. SMYRNA running back and JMU commit Wayne Knight ran for 88 yards and 2 touchdowns, and his brother Ymir Knight had a 50-yard touchdown carry. But Middletown quarterback Braden Davis completed 13 of 25 passes for 170 yards and the go-ahead touchdown late in the 4th quarter to Zach Caldwell, as well as rushing for 43 yards and a touchdown in the win. Braden Davis has committed to South Carolina, Cody Harris has committed to Army, and Durajaye has committed to Kentucky, and that's Middletown's first state title since 2012. At number 2, we have DMA taking home the school's first ever state baseball championship last spring. Number 5, DMA had never been past the quarterfinals in the baseball state tournament, but that changed last season. A record crowd of over 2,400 gathered at Frawley Stadium for a Memorial Day baseball championship between DMA and Appoquinimink. The Seahawks got the lead early and never looked back. Pitcher Kevin Williams got the start after pitching in the semifinal. Due to the weather postponing the game until that Memorial Day Monday, he was able to give it a go again. He gave up just 6 hits in over 5 innings and got the win. DMA finished with 8 hits and a 9-5 victory over defending champion Appoquinimink for the school's first ever baseball state championship. Now to our best of sports moment of 2021, and it was tough. All of these moments could have been atop this list, but we're going to go with the ARCHMERE Hawks taking home their first football state championship since 1982, a 39-year drought. The Hawks finished the season 13-0, the team's only undefeated team in the state, and capped off the state championship run with a dominant 27-0 shutout win over Woodbridge in the Class 2A title game. Quarterback Chris Albera was fantastic all season long, both on the ground and through the air. Wide receiver and DB Connor Udovich also had a special season, making big plays on both sides of the ball, but it was the dominant play of the offensive and defensive line up front that really propelled the Hawks to champions. The Hawks defense held Woodbridge star running back Kenny Newton to just 96 yards and dominated on the ground, rushing for 263 yards in the title game. Albero rushed for 51 yards, Johnny Kim 100, and Declan Pearson over 100 yards as well, rushing for the Hawks. The party did not stop there either, as the Hawks would soon receive a message from current president and former Hawk Joe Biden, who extended an invitation to the state champion ARCHMERE Hawks to visit the White House. What a season it was for the ARCHMERE Hawks. 2021 state champions for the first time in 39 years.
Fellas, it's a tradition of the President of the United States to host championship teams. Tom Brady and the Buccaneers came to celebrate the Super Bowl at the White House. I had them here. I think it's only right I host all of you to celebrate your title as well. Consider this an invite.
That's our best of sports moments of 2021. And again, stay safe for the rest of 2021, and we've got more sports for you coming in the new year right here on DETV News.
Thanks, Nick. Earlier this year, BB Healthcare launched a new program that allows patients to be treated in the comfort of their own home. Our health correspondent Donnie Beaujolais-Smith will have more with that story after the break.
Auto accident, medical negligence, work injury. Contact Team Tice, your Delaware personal injury lawyers. Leroy Tice in Wilmington, Delaware, serving and supporting the people of Delaware. Call 302-489-2400. That's 302-489-2400. Online at teamtice.com.
Welcome back to DETV News. I'm Donnie Beaujolais-Smith, here with some exciting news coming from BB Healthcare with the launch of their pilot program, Hospital at Home. Not to be confused with the traditional home health services that most of us are familiar with, Hospital at Home literally mimics the full range of services for acute inpatient care found in brick-and-mortar hospitals. This pilot is far more than just medical home visits, but also includes all the ancillary services available during a standard hospital stay, such as lab work, x-rays, meal programs, and social work. Now, still in its infancy, the program has proven to be successful in reducing or eliminating hospital-acquired infections and other accidents and falls. Equally as important, patients are reporting better recovery due to being in the comfort of their own home. To date, about 5% of hospital stays are utilizing the pilot program to great success. BB Healthcare has dedicated a team of medical and health experts to staff the program and have proven to be quite nimble in making adjustments to the program as needed. A key goal is to expand the program to 10% of hospital stays by next year. Here is Dr. William Chasnoff, Vice President and Chief Population Health Officer for BB Healthcare, sharing more about the goals of the program and what they are learning about population health and the patient experience.
So our goals are to continue to expand the program, basically in our market share. Right now, we have our central location in Lewis at our Margaret H. Rollins campus. CMS has some has some detailed definitions of how quick we must be in a home if a patient calls. So we probably are going to look to see if we can do more of a spoke and hub model where we'll have touchdown spaces as the program grows to expand through areas that we're covering in, further Sussex counties such as Bethany and Millville area as well. So we hope to continue to expand this to our community and make this, make this really a program that can be offered to many more and open it up to many more people. So that is one of our big goals from there. The other piece is, we had mentioned before that, we know this from home health. It's always a privilege for a patient to allow us as healthcare workers or anyone into their home. It is an absolute, it is sometimes absolutely eye-opening to see what type of things that we can help with besides just medical care when they allow us into their home. And again, not to harp on social determinants of health, but how important it is to actually see how people live. When they're in the brick and mortar, we all do it. We all make assumptions, right? We all make assumptions of how people live, and people have food in their cabinets, and they have transportation, and they have, a stable roof over their head. And we all know that that's not always the case. So we hope to expand, in addition to just the program, to see how we can tie in some of our outreach programs, our population health team, and really how we can try to improve the health of Sussex County with programs like this.
Dr. Lynn Voskamp, who is BB Healthcare's Vice President of Nursing and Operations and Continuum of Care, Chief Nursing Officer and Administrator of Home Care Services, goes on to say that the Hospital at Home program model has produced innovative ideas for inpatient care and potential strategies for dealing with the pending nurse staffing shortage.
Dr. Lynn Voskamp went on to say the hospital home program model has produced innovative ideas for inpatient care and potential strategies for dealing with the pending nursing shortage. We look forward to hearing more about the success of the program and hope to see it expanded in more counties in Delaware. And as most people are gearing up to see fireworks for the new year, Shakira Denise has your 3-day weekend forecast for the final days of this year.
Thanks, Lauren. Here is your DETV 3-day weekend weather forecast. Let's start with Newcastle County. Now on Friday, we're looking at cloudy skies. High will be about 57 degrees. Saturday is New Year's Day 2022. We made it. We're looking at rain all day. High will be about 62 degrees. Now on Sunday, there'll be showers in the morning, but then everything will be fine the rest of Sunday. Highs will be about 59 degrees. Now, Kent County, let's see what's going on in your county. Friday, cloudy skies, highs will be about 57 degrees. Now on Saturday, things are a little different. There'll be sprinkles of rain in the morning, but the high will be about 63 degrees, and things should be better Saturday afternoon and evening. Sunday, showers pretty much all day, so be prepared. Take your rain gear if you're going to be out and about. Highs will be about 60 degrees. Now, let's see what's going on in Sussex. Friday, cloudy skies, high will be about 60 degrees. Saturday, showers all day, but the temperatures will be nice. 67 degrees will be the high. And on Sunday, we're looking at rain all day. 61 will be the high. So not bad for New Year's 2020. Things still look good to me. No snow, but I'll take the high temperatures. Thanks so much for watching. Happy New Year's, everyone.
Thanks, Shakira. Coming up, a farewell story to a beloved Delaware pastor who became recognized at this year's presidential inauguration.
This message is brought to you by Newcastle County Government.
Many wonder, what is a variant? A variant is a mutation or a change in the genetic sequence of the virus. Some of our methods of treating COVID-19 become ineffective. If we were to simply get vaccinated, we could decrease the spread and the likelihood that a mutation would form in the first place. Let's get vaccinated.
Let DART do the driving. DART First State provides transportation that is clean, safe, reliable, and affordable. Plan your trip and get real-time bus information with the free DART Transit app. Scan your phone to pay your fare with the free DART Pass app. So what are you waiting for? Try transit today. Visit dartfirststate.com or call 1-800-652-DART.
Welcome back. Our last story of the year is about the city and state saying goodbye to a local pastor who was elevated to bishop.
Trust me. Trust me.
For more than 2 decades, parishioners, city, county, and state officials have trusted Reverend Sylvester Scott Beaman as a spiritual and civic leader, one who went beyond the walls of this church called Bethel AME in Wilmington. The seats empty here now due only to COVID restrictions. This was a farewell service, as Pastor Beaman is now Bishop Beaman, destined to leave this pulpit for an assignment that will begin with a move to Africa.
I've been here 28 years. Records are meant to be broken, but I declare right now I'm the GOAT. Amen. I got 28 rings to prove it. We won a championship every year.
Beaman became recognized as a worldwide champion on January 20th of 2021 when he delivered the benediction at the inauguration of President Joe Biden, a personal friend, a confidant who visited this church often over the span of 20 years. U.S. Senator Chris Coons, also a close ally, sent a videotaped goodbye message, while other elected officials came in person. All have been frequent visitors, and all have referred to Beaman as a civic advisor and personal counselor, each expressing the same pride that these parishioners felt when Beaman delivered that spirit-filled benediction on Inauguration Day.
At that moment, there were millions watching television sets across this country and across this world, including in Southern Africa, who were rising by this inspiration, raising their hands up and feeling like they were maybe no longer oppressed, feeling like maybe their empty stomachs would soon be filled.
Our friend and shepherd stood on the world's largest stage, the stage that makes so many look small, the inauguration of President Joe Biden, and looked like that podium was made for him.
Governor Carney presented the bishop and his wife Renee with the highest state honor, a plaque called the Order of the First State. It was a picture-taking day for officials, but for parishioners, a bittersweet moment to lift their hands in praise and to thank the newly appointed bishop who ended every single one of his service with the same call to action. You've come to worship, now leave to serve. As a member of Bethel AME, I had the pleasure of knowing Pastor Beaman since the day he came to Wilmington. He is already sorely missed by me and others, but there's some good news. While Bishop Beaman is scheduled to spend the majority of his time in Africa over the next 3 to 4 years, he'll visit Delaware often because his wife Renee, who is the director of the state service centers in Delaware, will remain here in Wilmington, along with his 2 daughters and 3 grandchildren. That wraps up our year in review. DETV News will continue next year, and Matt Ford and I look forward to seeing you right back here for the week's top headlines across Delaware. Thanks for watching DETV News. I'm Lauren Wilson, and be sure to check us out across all of our social media platforms. Stay well and have a happy and safe New Year.
DETV News is sponsored by Newcastle County Government.